Hey guys, it's Scott Miller here, and I'm with Rob Joseph, the founder of Anti and past Young Starters competition participant. We're going to be here talking about Rob's journey, how he got started, what got him interested in business, and also too, what he got out of the Young Starters competition. So, I guess start with Rob. Do you want to give us a bit of an overview of what you do, what Anti is, and how you got started?
Sure. So Anti is a snow sports helmet startup. So we've got a patent for the world's first truly soft helmet. So it'll be the first helmet that comes in the form of a beanie. So it'll be soft and malleable and conform to your head, and overall just be a lot easier to use on the mountain.
Fantastic, very cool. And what got you interested in soft malleable helmets?
It came from the problem that I had on the slopes, is that, you know, I love being protected and being safe. It's a big important thing for me, but also I hated wearing helmets. So as it turns out, there's a lot of people who had a similar thought to it than I did, so we just went from there.
Fantastic, yeah. And tell me, like, what was at what point did you decide I want to start a business rather than just looking at different options on the market?
Well, when the idea came to me, I suppose, for a soft helmet, and you look around and nobody's really done it yet. And so the only viable way forward was to build it ourselves.
Yeah, and tell me a bit about your background. Do you have any previous business experience or anything like that?
Not at all, not at all. My parents run a company themselves. They started that. Nowhere near a startup though, and my grandparents have run companies as well, but personally I've had no real experience in anything, you know, smaller than a medium enterprise. Everything's been small business that I've worked in and all that kind of thing.
Very cool. And tell me, you're still pretty young yourself. What's your journey looked like up to this point before starting Anti?
Graduated high school at 17 as most do.
And what subjects did you do?
I did physics, chemistry, HPE, maths B, English. I can't remember, it was a little while ago now.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Yeah, and what about when you graduated? What did you get up to?
So I went from high school, went straight into university and studying medical engineering at QUT. I'm still studying that. I've sort of had to slow down my studies a little bit for business things, but yeah, so still going on with that one. Very
cool. And going from medical engineering into building snowboard helmets, how did you find that transition?
It was an interesting one. University engineering's a different take on things. The scientific background that it gives you is fantastic, but in terms of running a business and building actual product, it's quite different.
Yeah.
So while the scientific principles are great, it's putting those into reality that's something that's been really new.
Absolutely. And have you found there's a lot of crossover from the skills that you learnt doing your medical engineering course with the business that you're running now?
Yeah, to a degree. On the whole building product and need finding side of it, yes. In terms of running a business, starting a business and networking, not at all.
Okay, cool.
It's quite different to the degree that I do, but there's plenty of ways you can learn it instead.
Very cool. Now, can you tell me a bit about how your journey up to the Young Starters competition? What did it look like when you first started out your business, when your business first started out, and how did you find out about the Young Starters comp?
So we started the business sort of fairly early on last year, and we started at QT, went to QT Startup Hatch program, learned a lot there, and had just been to a few events, started going to a lot of events around the precinct, River City Labs, and had a great time. And then we found out about the Young Starters competition, I believe it was through Twitter or Facebook, and sort of came across, and somebody asked us about it, and we just applied to join and got accepted, made a video.
Cool. Yeah, so a lot of it was about getting out into the ecosystem, going to events, meeting people and forming those connections.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And how have you found the Brisbane startup ecosystem?
It's been fantastic. It's a lot of people wonder why we build snow helmets in a place that has had no snow days on record.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but when you start to understand the people who are in Brisbane and the people who have been happy to help us and have been the ecosystem essentially is the reason why we stay here, and we'll continue to stay here for a long time.
That's awesome. And being young people as well, how did you find the ecosystem reacting to that?
Really well actually. We take pride in being, you know, happy and fun and take everyone's advice on board. So, you know, if you're willing to show the qualities that you'll listen to somebody and be humble about how much you know and know how much they know, then people will always go out of their way to help you.
That's fantastic. And how about the events around Brisbane? What have you found? Is it pretty easy to get to them and find out about them? And I understand they're pretty cheap to attend as well.
Yeah, well, most of them are free,
yeah,
actually, and being a university student, there's some food there every night, so it's pretty well every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night between the precinct, River City Labs, QUT as well, lots through the universities. All the universities in Brisbane have them. There's just so many events that you can go to at any given time. Pretty much, I'm not home Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights, just because there's an event on.
That's fantastic. And can you tell me a bit more about your experiences with the Young Starters competition? What did you get out of it? How did you find the experience and everything like that?
Yeah, so the weekend was big, actually. It was the first time that we'd been exposed to lots of different mentors in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And I think we spoke to 12 or 15 within the space of an afternoon, which is an incredible experience. These people all know a lot about their respective fields. A lot of them have very different opinions. So it's our first foray into sort of looking at the way people, where their backgrounds come from and why they have that opinion, as well as how much they know. Within everything, you really have to take their advice and finding which advice fits you best and going from there. So
Definitely.
It was a fantastic weekend. It really put us on our toes. It helped us a lot. We met some people who we email to this day when we need help. So it's been really good.
And did you find there was a pretty diverse range of mentors? Like they all had different experiences, different knowledge?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing we find a lot of the time is because we build hardware, we build products, and helmets are very different to a lot of startups. There's not many helmet startups getting around, and so a lot of people up until then we found a lot of people were very tech based, software, that kind of thing. But in the Young Stars weekend, we had people who were experts at patent laws and building hardware, and they put us in contact with people who build things, and that was the first time we'd really met people who were hardware specialists rather than people who had done a lot of tech. And those guys are fantastic. Nothing wrong with tech at all, but we're just not along that strain. So the diversity of the mentors was just something that's really helped us.
That's fantastic. And tell me too about the other competitors that you found. Was it mostly people in tech or mostly in hardware? Was there a pretty diverse range?
It's pretty diverse, actually, now that you think about it. Some people, such as yourself, have a funny crossover between tech and hardware, and Niall was there as well, and from No Spill, he was definitely hardware as well. And then there was some tech and there was some other things going on. So the diversity of it, there's no real limit as to what you can bring to the weekend. So Absolutely. It was really good to have that diversity and people around.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that was really great about the Young Starters competition is there's such a diverse range of teams there. No matter what your idea is, whether it's in agriculture, tech, hardware, tourism, there's such a wide range of ideas and activities to really help nurture and grow your business.
Yeah, absolutely. The iYouth Global guys were there last year as well, and they're sort of more on the side of social enterprise, making some really cool changes with the world. So there's no real limit as to what you can do, with the weekend.
That's fantastic. And also too, with the business, the stage of business that most of the startups are in, what did you find with that? Were they pretty new? Were they mostly pretty new, pretty late, or was it a broad mix?
Pretty broad mix. There's a lot of different styles of the business, and of course some move faster on some aspects and some move slower, and some were pretty new, some had been well established, and that's not a problem. You're all on a pretty level playing field either way, so it doesn't matter how early or late you are, as long as you've got a pretty good idea of what you're doing. It's not too bad.
Yeah, and tell me, do you have any advice for any potential young starters for 2018 that are thinking about the competition? What would you tell them?
Just do it. There's nothing more that you can really substitute for getting out there and giving it a go. And even if this business idea is not the one that you carry on, it's something. The things that you learn from it will be, very important for you moving forward, and it'll apply to nearly anything you do, be it a university degree or another business or the same business. The skills that you learn carry through with everything.
Absolutely. And as far as completing those initial activities, do you have any advice for making sure you have a really killer pitch video or a really impressive application?
Make it fun. I think. We make helmets, and a lot of things we do is around fun and doing fun things, but make yourself stand out somehow. I know my video, as an example, we did it all on Snapchat, and it was me pretty much riding a push bike around Brisbane, riding a city cycle bike actually, doing my pitch while trying to ride, and some people laughed at that actually, and it was funny, and so it's a bit more memorable, even though it was pretty dorky and a bit silly, but it's easy to remember because that's the case. So do something a bit different.
Absolutely, yeah. So definitely too, if you want to check out any of the sample videos, I think Rob's is about to go up there. Head to the website. There's going to be a link below, above, floating somewhere. If you want to get involved in the Young Starters competition, just head to the website. It's a totally free competition to do, free to enter, and up to $45,000 worth of prizes available. Head to the link somewhere, and make sure to comment if you have any questions. We'd love to have a chat. And thank you, Rob, for sharing a bit of your insight, a bit of your story. And if you want to find out more about Rob, do you have a website they can head to?
Yeah, www.antiordinary.co is us.
Great, we'll make sure to include that in the notes somewhere. But yeah, thanks so much for chatting, Rob, and I hope to hear from you all soon.
No worries. See you
Bye,
soon.
guys.